Someone asked me what my early conversations with my family were about my struggle with addiction of alcohol and cocaine, and I remember it vividly. After Easter weekend 2007, when I had had my 2-day blackout and what I would call my recovery tipping point, other people may call it rock bottom, but I don't like that term. And the next day, I texted Mark, my older brother Mark, and I said, I've relapsed. And I thought that was an interesting term because I never thought about it in terms of relapse, right? It was just this continuous process, and I'd never thought about it in terms where I'd previously tried to stop. And I texted my brother Jeff, and Mark texted me back. He said, okay, what are you going to do about it? That was it. That was the appropriate response because they had seen it all, and they had realized that they couldn't do anything. I had to do it myself, and they had tried. I come from a lot of privilege. I had deep pockets in my family. I had an intact family unit with my brothers, and I said I'm going to 12-step. He said, good. That was it. And so I went into my first meeting of 12-step, and when I came out, I texted Jeff and Mark. I said, I just completed my first 12-step meeting. They texted back, way to go, Bry. And that was encouragement, right? There was nothing else to say. It was still on me. The more complicated part was when I went to tell my father what I was going through. He was the greatest generation. He was a CB. He fought in the Battle of Okinawa, and old school, fixed cars. He ran a trim shop where they reupholstered car seats, put on convertible tops. And he didn't really have a concept. He had his glasses of wine when he went out. Although we went out together partying sometimes, he didn't have a concept of cocaine and cocaine addiction and all of these things. And I hadn't told him anything because I loved him and didn't want to disappoint him. I loved him so much. And so he was living right across the street from me, literally across the street. That's how close we were. Mark, Jeff, and I and my father were walking distance to each other. So I walked over to his place, and this was the next day after my first day in 12-step. And he invites me in, and I sat down, and I just started crying and crying. He said, what's wrong? And I started telling them all these things and explaining to him all my pain. And I don't know that he really even grasped all of that. Again, alcoholism, I knew he knew the term, cocaine addiction. All he did was put his arm around me, and he started crying with me. And he said, Brian, move in with me for a week. We'll get through this together. And I did. I had my dog, and I would go take care of my dog, and I would sleep with him just so I wouldn't be alone at night and have those pulls. And he helped get me through it. He helped save my life. And those were the early conversations. And that was a privilege, and a lot of people don't have that privilege. Because estranged families, they don't talk to their siblings. It could be over the addiction, many different things. They don't have those people. And I'm grateful that I do. I'm grateful that I had that compassionate community. And I urge you to figure out who that compassionate community is for you. It may not be your family unit, but people do care. And it may be people that you have projected out, that they're busy, they have children, they're in their own lives, they don't want to hear my problems. Maybe they do, and you'll probably be surprised if you fight through that and give them that call, give them that text. Thank you.